Who has installed? Who and who? Nobody will talk now. You have installed your own. How many assignments have you done? It's in the group. I've seen it. You have not, as far as I'm concerned, you have not done any assignments. Have you posted in the group? Why? Why? Is it that you don't know how to export? Please post in the group. I want to see it. Because the people that are sponsoring this thing, they are in the group. They need to see that you are doing assignment. Post it there. Because no. Alright? So let's get into today's class. So yesterday we got to the extent where we introduced branding for logo. Right? And we said we are going to continue on this journey where we are going to brand this brand completely. We just finished creating the logos, right? And we voted in the class for Luminaa, right? So if you don't know what we're talking about, go and check the previous video. You will see what we are talking about. Somebody in the group is saying they are struggling to join. Somebody to go and follow. I say, I'll motivate them. Tell them to just click link. God will help them to join. I don't know, since this morning, MTN has been giving problem. MTN and Glow. Currently, if not for Starlink, this class might not hold. Alright? So, we were able to check and we said branding is very broad, right? Logo itself is just one part of branding. So the logo is the visual aspect. What you see, right, is an icon that represents the brand, right? Represent the brand, and we're able to explore types of logos. And through our journey, we understood that there are 7 types of logo, from word mark to letter mark to pictorial to abstract. I don't have everything in my brain right now. Mascot and combination mark, and then an emblem logo, right? Go and check our previous class. You will see the full explanation for this. All right. Then we now started how to design a logo, right? And we said for you to design a logo, you have to have a client, and that client would share with you what we call a brief, right? And since we didn't have a client, we made use of AI. We used ChatGPT or Meta AI, and I told you that is an easy way for you to practice as a designer. So we are also explaining how to involve AI in our designs. As you can see, for some of our flyers that we've done, we've used AI to like trace the backgrounds, right? Where we would have used Photoshop to trace it, but that would have taken us more time, right? But we have free image background remover from Adobe, or you can use remove.bg. So I don't use remove.bg anymore, because when we trace on remove.bg, it gives us low resolution output, except we are using like a premium subscriber, right? But for Adobe, there is a free background remover. So if possibly I trace the background, I can later take it to Photoshop and edit as I want. All right. So we have created our logo yesterday, which is Luminaa, and we stopped here. So we had our page 1, and we created a front cover. So I said I like to create my front cover so that I wouldn't stress myself again. So, and this background, we got it from Free Pick, right? We just typed in some random words. We said futuristic AI background, blah blah blah, and Free Pick generated it. So I told you that Free Pick also work with artificial intelligence. So most times, before, when you search for some images, they are not available on Free Pick, right? And you wouldn't be able to see them. But now that AI is there, so the AI can generate what you're thinking in your mind. So we got the image and then we power clipped it inside of this box. So our page size is 15 by 11. And this is our page 1. And on page 2, we placed our brand brief, the logo design brief, right? So to design a logo that embodies the essence of Luminaa mission, all right, and then we arranged everything properly, because we said we are not just designing a brand guide. It is still like when you are designing a flyer, when you are designing an ID card. So the design principles needs to be applied, like the principles of alignment, principles of balance, principles of white spacing, negative spacing. So if you were here yesterday, you would have seen like how I took time to arrange this text so that it will fit into this space and not look bulky, but also still accommodating everything that we have here. Then for our next page, we put the full logo in display. So this is like a combination mark where we have the icon and Luminaa, right? Then we went on and said you can't just give the logo to the client, you have to like have variations of that logo, right? And this is, we created 3 variations where the logo can stand alone as an icon, where the logo can stand horizontally and also be stacked, right? Now more variations can be created, but these 3 are one of the basic ones that you should always give your clients, right, when creating a logo. These 3 variations are very, very important because they can't just keep using one. Let's say they are printing on maybe on a wristband, right? They can't just put only the icon. Most times on the wristband you might want to use this horizontal one because that will be very flat and will work better. On a t-shirt maybe they want to use this stacked one, maybe very big on the center, or maybe just the icon. Or on their cap they can use only the icon. So that is the reason why we have to like create various form of this logo, and not just only in colored form. We'd also have black and white, single color like the yellow color and the blue color. Now for we to now tell them what colors to use, we'll get to that. We have to now explain the logo. So now we'll now get into the logo rationale, right? So how do we create a rationale for the logo is from the brief, understanding what the brief is talking about. We said Luminaa is an AI powered brand that's for creatives, and one of their key points that we saw here was light or spark, and the spark represents creativity and inspiration. And we said they consider incorporating a stylized letter L or A, so we went for this letter L and the spark, and we merged them together to form our logo. Then the colors we used were not the one that chose it. It was given to us by the client. A bright energetic blue, rich gray, a creative orange. So these are the X codes, and that was how we were able to choose this particular color. So the rich gray was used for the text. So this is not black. Back here, back here. Touch it. No, touch it. Touch. So rich gray was used for the text, then yellow and the orange and the blue was used here. So you see, we now have to like explain the 2 elements. So the 2 main elements for this design was the letter L and the spark. So merging them together was how we created this. So if you were not in class when we created this logo and you want to see how letter L and spark was changed to this, there's a video on it already. So go and check the YouTube account and watch. Amen. Then we didn't just stop there. So most times the client will want to know better, what do you mean by what you just said? So we had to like explain the letter L, that the L represents the brand name, which is Luminaa, and the connection with the spark represents what the brand offers, which is an AI platform that helps artists or creative connect and generate ideas. So yesterday I introduced AI also, which we can use to generate a rationale. Now the AI won't generate the rationale for you because most times we don't know how to place our words properly. So to make the word look more professional, this particular idea that I wrote here now was what I had in my head. So you saw that we shared it with the AI, even though the AI malfunctioned yesterday and didn't give us our results. But to make these results better, this stuff I wrote here now, you can type it to ChatGPT or Meta AI and say, can you make this a better rationale? And it will make it better, and you can just copy it and paste back here. And both for the spark, right? And this would explain the brand very, very well, right? And so when the client gets to see this and see this, they would get to understand that this logo represents their brand properly. And the next thing we did was to create a color palette, right? The color palette for the brand, that is the official color palette. So for whatever design that they are making, whatever design they are making for their brand, this would be the only color that will come in play. Whether they are designing a flyer, they are designing a business card, as we are going to do today, they are designing a letter heading, and so forth and so on. These colors are what would be used, right? So the blend of these colors, like the energetic blue, so we had to like give the RGB and the X codes. So we have already thought about what X codes are and RGB are in our color theory class, right? So if you have not understood it yet, there's a video on that. So the RGB code and the X code, so these codes represent these colors. So just imagine that the client told us that their color is blue and we just use blue. We wouldn't get the actual blue, right? So it was the code that was shared that we use to get this color, right? And this orange, this is the code for the orange, and then rich gray. Then for every brand there must always be black and white, so we have to bring in black and white into the color code. And that is the end of what we did yesterday. So but before we go into creating a business card, we are going to create a new slide, and for that slide we are going to design um, patterns. Yes, that was what I said. We are going to learn today how to design brand patterns. So, and I gave you of examples of how brand patterns work. Said brand patterns are mostly used for branding. You can check like on the brand t-shirts, on their caps, business card, water bottles, bag, their boss, even inside of the building, the painting can be the pattern that was created. Now, how do we create these brand patterns? Now, these brand patterns can be icons most times. Sometimes we design icons for the brand, right? But we wouldn't be doing that. Various icons coming together to form maybe just the thunder spark, light bulb, blending them all together to become a brand pattern. But the best way to create a brand pattern most times is from the logo icon, right? So we're using this icon here. This one to create a brand pattern. So there are basically two ways you can create a brand pattern, and I'll be showing you those two ways. Now, some designers, to create a brand pattern, they can basically just use the logo itself, the logo mainly, and duplicate it, right? So if you duplicate the logo, Ctrl D, you can rotate it, right? That is mirroring it like this, and shift it up a bit. Let's see how nice this looks like. So you group this one, then you can duplicate again. Let's see, you might not want it to look alike. Yeah, I think. So we can duplicate again. So when you have made one duplicate, keep duplicating as much as possible. I think that's enough. So we can arrange them properly, bring it back here. So if I group it, I can now duplicate, Ctrl D, bring it downwards. So you can check various forms. I think I prefer this one. So you group this one and duplicate it again. So you just keep duplicating as much as possible, right? Let me place this thing outside here so that you appreciate it better. So something like this, right? So you would have seen patterns like this. Maybe if you wear Ankara a lot, right? Those patterns on the clothes like that. I told you an example yesterday about money points, right? Now the patterns would come in black and white, come in white and also in black and white, and also in the brand colors, right? So this is one easy route to create a brand pattern. But if you're not going for this style where you use just the icons, you can break the logo apart, right, and create something different. So I'll create the three different styles right now, so just hold on. So for this one, on group, So I might choose to like break this stuff apart. If I say break curve apart like this one can have full colors, right? Full colors. Then I can move. So I can delete this one and use like this. And as simple as this, we have a pattern. So a simple pattern like this can also work. Alright. But now if you don't want to use this style, so I've shown you two styles of the patterns you can do. So this will be the last one I'll be trying out so that we can get into other designs. So this particular logo here is what I'll be breaking apart. Alright. So I'll duplicate this logo so that when this one is broken I can create another. So I will just draw a box inside of this. Right, then I can rotate it how I please. Right, so I'll use this box and simplify this stuff. So if I should use back minus front, I've broken this stuff apart. Alright, so now I can break them, break cover parts. So now they are now like separate elements like this. So now this is where your creativity comes in. So you can just choose to rotate them how you please. I don't like this cut I have here. This thing might be harder than I want. Okay. So since we have like three main colors in the brand color, I want to see if I can make this stuff into three. we'll try out those colors on them. Like this. So the next thing is to group it and duplicate. Let me try rotating it. So we might mix the color around. Let's see. I think I prefer our former ones to this ones. But let us finish it first off. Let's see how it will come out. So we can then group them all. So I will draw a box here and I'll power clip them inside. So remember how to power clip. We drag with our right mouse, drop it in here, say power clip inside. So I can fit the contents if you frame proportionally. So I'll go in so this is a pattern. I think we might have to stick to it last. Yeah? So we can check out the pattern in white and then look at it in black. So I think you appreciate the pattern more in black. So I've showed you two ways to create patterns easily. Either you use the full logo, bend them, change it in style, just find a way around it and mix it up. Then you have your pattern easily. Look at it in blue also. See how it's looking here. In this color, see how it's looking like. And finally like this. So you can give the client various color type, right? Various color type for them to see and for them to make their own observation. I know people are complaining of network. Don't worry, network will get better. Just believe in Tulumbu. So I said let's use I think I prefer the first one we created to what we have here. So let's use the one where we have a full logo. So I'm thinking of just using just the two main bright colors, because the ash look like it's hiding inside of the design. So before going any further, let me just mix the color. Try to create two styles for this thing. Watch. So it will be having this spacing in between. So if you test it on ash, powerful. So I'm getting another idea now. So instead of just leaving it to be straight like this, we can rotate it a bit, just small. So I'll just rotate it for it to bend to this way. So I think it looks better this way, bends a bit. So that is our pattern. Yeah. So in case you want to see other patterns we've created from other brands, you can find the videos in our YouTube. So for every class, we always do this. So you find other patterns, and then you will learn how to create patterns like this easily. So most times these patterns can serve as your background. So if you realize, we have already created one pattern already before. Look at this white background. We have this pattern inside, right inside of it. So stuff like this, they help to unify the brand. They unify the brand. Wherever you see their brand materials, you would always recognize them. So let's view how many page slides we have here. So if you look all through, you find out that you'll be seeing the same colors all through. So this is what we mean by a brand guideline, right? So right now I'll create a new slide, and from onwards what we'll be creating are like mock-ups, right? But you have not started mock-up yet. What do they call these things? Is it? Oh God. I think we'll name these ones brand materials. Let me just say brand visual materials. Stop hanging now, it's just text. Ah, so the pattern we have inside is not really showing, so I'm going to go in. I'll change their colors to white. You see that you can see the colors now on it. So the reason I created it because we are entering into a different phase. So visual guideline, they are like the designs that we want to make now. Alright. So the first design we'll make, let's start from business cards. Right, so start from business cards to the harder one. Right, from business card we'll go to create an ID card, and then we can try out a letter heading under how many hours. So what is a business card? I think we have already treated that. We said that business cards are official documents that are used to exchange informations from a business, right? So the business card is owned by the business owner, right? The staffs don't have business cards. What they have are ID cards. That's what we call a business card. So the owner of Luminaa would be what we are creating this business card for, right? So, but before we continue that, I'm going to duplicate all these logos that we have here, so that we have the three options. All right. So what's the size of a business card? So business cards are literally the same size, 3.5 by 2 in inches. So you can search it also. Say business card size. So anytime you forget, it is 3.5 by 2. So that's the standard business card size. So we'll use this also to explain what we mean by vector being scalable. So if I should draw a box here now and give it 3.5 by 2 inches. So the 3.5 is the width, 2 is the height, right? So after you have drawn a box and given it 3.5 by 2 like this, you can easily stretch it, right? Make it bigger. Now this stretch we are stretching, don't stretch by the sides, right? You stretch by the edge of the boxes. right? So you stretch by their edge. So different way you can stretch from here or from here. Now you can hold shift and just drag, and all the edges would move at the same time. All right. So now when creating a business card, you need to be aware of what are the informations that should be on a business card. First thing, the brand name, brand logo. Now it depends on how you are approaching the design. So remember I said before making designs, you can make research to see what other people have done, right? What other designers have done for how a business card is. But literally what you're going to see is the business card logo icon, right? Then you're going to see the brand name, the owner of the business card, the person that owns that card, their full name, their position in the business, and then the way to reach out to them. So most times this is called a business card. It's going to have the official phone number, official mail address for the company, right? Then also sometimes social media handles. Now I've said the business card is different from the ID card. The business card is owned by the business owner, while staffs have what we call ID cards, right? So you can't be a staff and you have a business card for a company, put your name there, right? Because it is not your business, right? So there's the owner of the business that has a business card, and you having an ID card. So we're going to try our best to, like, let's say we create two different type of ID cards, business card. So some business cards just have just front cover, right? So it's either you have a front cover and a back cover, or you just stick to those front cover. So it's depending on how much you're charging for to the client at the point in time. So if they want a design at the front and at the back, so that will cost extra. So most times, sometimes it might just be front, but we prefer making front and back, right? So it makes the card look more classy, right? So we have here. So let's try one approach and then we'll try another approach. So an easy way to approach this design, so that you see the importance of all this stuff we have designed, all these our patterns, right? So we'll try to apply them inside of this design. So I'll duplicate this also. So I said the business card should have the logo, right? So we're going to use this one. So I'll show you two styles of how I'm going to apply this design. So for this particular one, I'm just going to put the icon and the logo at the top, then the owner of the business card name and their position beneath. Now every other information I would spread on the background. I'll spread it on the background. So let's get the name of the business card owner. So let's see, his name is Toluwani Gabriel. So I don't want to use the same font type. I'm going to look for another family of the Gilroy. I have like Gilroy extra bold. So I think I will stick to using dark font type here. So his role, I think it should be like founder slash, let's say, CEO of the firm. So we'll apply hierarchy here. So the founder and his name shouldn't be the same size. So if his name, which is the lower name, I like to use rounded figures. So let me make this one 50. I'm going to use half of the 50 and say, let's make this one 25. Let me zoom closer so you guys will see what I'm doing properly. So I think 25 is like a bit too small. Let's go for 30. I still want to reduce this logo smaller. Yeah. So what I'll do now is I'm grouping this Ctrl G, and I think the spacing here is too small. Reduce it. So I'll make sure they are aligned. Remember, alignment, L, group. So I'll hold all of them together and click on L also and make sure it's aligned. Yeah. So you see what happened there? The name was far from it, but you might not even realize unless you check it. So you hold everything and click L, and it becomes aligned. Alright. So the next thing I want to do is, I don't want to use the same color all through since we have a brand color. So for the founder down here, we can try out blue. I think blue is going to work perfectly instead of which one looking good better. Or what if we make it have this color down here and the name is blue? No. I'm going to use this one as the accent colors, right? Like that. So we can choose to use our brand pattern inside of here right now. Right, you can choose to use it inside of here right now. Or if you notice, I said that we have two patterns already. So if you look inside here, inside of these dark backgrounds, we already have patterns that we're using already. There's that white background. Yeah, this white background, there are patterns here already. So we can try them out, but I think I want to use this pattern I already have inside of here. For these other ones, I'll be using them on maybe shirts. I have to copy, Control C. Our problem with Control C every time. You just wait for it to load. I don't know why this copy always takes time. Okay. Oh, glory to God. So I'm going to power clip it inside of the box also. So I'm pasting it. So I'll just drag it inside of the box like this. So I have to like give that a black background so you can appreciate what I'm doing better. Alright. So we have this front cover like this. So basically this is a very simple and straightforward business card. You can just stop at this front just like this. So if I group this one like this, I want it to be at the center of the page. So remember letter E. So we are done with that one. So now at the back of the card, we can now place other items. I think this black background is shouting at me. for this one we are using we're now placing informations that we need. For the phone number +234. So apart from phone number, another thing they would have is their email address, right? So to be Luminaa. So when you type, it changes to blue because it is an anchor tag. It is the email address, so can press Ctrl Z and it will turn to white back. Alright, so we might add their, if they have a website, I think they should have a website. www.luminaa. So most time it depends on the information that the client shared with you. Then location of their office, if they have an office. So we'll put let's just formulate an address. Let's say 7 maybe they have a street name after them. Luminaa Drive. There it goes. So I'll use scanning and tracking to increase the space. So you're seeing the logo here, but you won't see this text here because that's the same background. So now we'll now need I'll be using icons to represent you might leave it like this, but I think recently people like to use icons to represent these stuffs here. So I will go for like a box kind of icon. So I'm breaking them apart so that I can use E and align them properly. So this one will be, let's use 0.28. So I'm duplicating. Alright, so I'm going to align this. Arrangement is very, very important. Always remember to check that. So now we now need the icons, right, for phone. So you can Google phone icon. Right? If you Google a phone icon, you can bring it in, convert it to a vector or stuff like that. Now there's also a shortcut here in CorelDRAW, which is Control F11. So if I click Control F11, there is a font that have most of these icons in it. So the name of the font is Webdings. So WEB. So we have Webdings here. So if you scroll through all these items, there's a whole lot of icon you can use for when you are designing. So most time, I think it's in beginning stage I've been using this ones, but I don't use this stuff anymore most times. So I download my icons most times from Google. So you can just search phone icon PNG. You find it on Google, you save, bring it into your CorelDRAW and convert it to like an icon to vector. So I have already brought out phone. So let's see if we'll see a mail address icon here also. Then web, there's no web icon here. So we'll design those ones ourselves. Right, so we'll try this. So I like to like show my students two styles of creating this stuff. So most times maybe you're not connected to the internet and you can't locate this icon. I've shown you guys how to design illustrations, right? So most of these stuffs can be designed by yourself, right? And most times it's even better because it's more smoother. Because if you download these icons most times and convert them, CorelDRAW might make them not look as you want them to. So there we have that one. Now this thunder stuff here, I don't like it. So I'm going to remove it. So this icon is like a text. So we'll convert it to a text, to a curve using Control Q. Then we'll go to our shape icon. Right, so remember these nodes, what I said about nodes, we can delete the nodes, tap on them and they are gone. So that it will look like a proper mailbox. So you can tilt this one if you don't want it looking all straight. Then here we would have location icon. So let's design that location icon. So we'll need a triangle, but we don't have a triangle in here. So let's just reduce this to a triangle. You should know how we did this already, right? We already drew a triangle before. Then I mirrored it, so I can draw a circle here. Make it like a perfect circle, 0.4. So I'm going to duplicate this circle, bring it to the center, and reduce it. So I have two circles here, like this. What I'll do is I'll weld these ones together, weld it, and use this tail. Then use this one to simplify at the center. So I'll check it closely, because if you look closely, you see some items didn't work well. Alright. So for the word, I don't want to download it. Let's design it ourselves. 0.35, 0.35. So this is how a globe look like now, right? Then we have lines around them. So I'm going to draw a straight line like this. Many lines have. So I guess this one would have to curve. So we'll use our curve tool. Let's increase the airline a bit. So I'm going to use my segment delete tool, virtual segment delete tool, and remove the aspect I don't want. And this should serve, right? So we'll go to objects, convert the object to outlines. But the only problem here now is if you're looking at this now, yeah, okay, you know what? Let me duplicate this stuff because the other items here, they are not outlines. They have fill. Let me break this stuff apart and see. We don't agree. So we have something here called smart fill tool. So let me try and fill in this stuff. Àlàyé ṣiṣẹ́ náà. I think this one is better. Yeah? You will watch the video again now. Ew. Okay, wait. But this first one that I did, this one that is airline, you understood this one, right? Okay. So watch again. So the space inside, right? So this is an object already. So I said there's a tool here called Smart Fill. So if you click on Smart Fill, there's a color here already, right? So that's Smart Fill. You can use it and fill up these spaces. So I think it's still loading. I don't know, this Smart Fill, why is heavy to work? So you can specify what kind of color also, the kind of color you want the Smart Fill to have, right? So when you have selected that, the next thing is to come in and fill up. Just tap into these spaces, and fill them up. So when you are done, you can now delete these lines. The lines, you delete them. That's just it. You just delete the lines. Finish. Then you give it a color. Remove the airline. That is just what I did there. So the reason why I did that is that if this phone call now, let's say this phone line, I used airlines instead of fill. Let's say I use an airline instead of fill. I would have used this airline also, but since the phone has a fill, it's better everything has fill. So that was why I had to like edit it and convert it to that. So I'm still looking at this yellow. I'm not really okay with using yellow as color. Let's see if I copy the properties of it having this I feel that simplicity is more better with this. So I let me try a rounded corner also. Rounded corner of like 0.5. So I want to try whether if I use simplify here. I think that's what I'll use. So instead of using white on top of the text, right, I'm going to use these icons and simplify the box. So if I hold them together, simplify them, I think blue is working better. Right. So I said some business card might have social media icons. If you want to, you can just leave it out, but it's modern, right? So I think let's just find a social media icon. And the reason why I want to do that is because I said I was going to explain how to get icons online and convert them to like a vector format. So they need to be spacing between them and make sure that these stuff that they are aligned to this one here also. So everything needs to be at the same measurement. So let's get icons online. So, but before that, oh, I wanted to download a picture here. So let's go to the new tab. I'm going to search for, let's just say, social media icon. So let's see what Google is going to give us. So definitely there's going to be Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. So the reason why we get icons like this is because when you get them, the mistake some people do is that when they download a Facebook icon or an Instagram icon, they now place them like that, right? Place them like that on the design, which is very, very wrong. So because the Facebook might have a different color, right, which is blue, and then Instagram might have a different color, which is pink and a bit of red, right? So that will be contradicting with the color code of the brand. So when we get these icons, we then convert them to vector, right? So when it becomes a vector, we are now able to like give them a different color. So these are the three. I think I'll just stick with just three. So there's a whole lot of them, plenty of them. So but basically what brands use mostly are, let's say, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. So if you don't want to draw, you are too tired or maybe too lazy to draw your icons, you can Google them and then download, right? What is going on this internet? So I'm going to click this, and what I'll do is you can download the image, or you can copy any of the one which you want. So you can download or you can copy also. All these things are just taking forever. Let me see if I can copy from here. If you copy this image now and come here, what will be showing there? It might just be a text that I copied. That's why I need to make the image load first before I copy. Oh, thank God. So when you download and see the image did not download well. Oh God. So if you want to download these pictures, most time we have to wait for it to be like high resolution. Why is this guy stressing us? And we don't have much time left. Yeah, so this is a better one. So when we bring the image here, we're going to trace it. So there's a tool called trace to logo. So when you right click, we have outline trace here. So you can click on quick trace, or you can use outline trace. So outline trace is better. When you click on outline trace, you can either select line art, logo, detailed logo, clip art, high quality image, or whatsoever. So even these call icons, email address, and all these ones that we have to get, we can also do it this way, right? So instead of drawing them, I'm going to use detailed logo instead. let me say keep original size. So I'm going to wait for it. It's going to trace them like this, and this stuff is going to load up. So after tracing, if you feel that the tracing is not perfect, you can change the details. You can change the stuff like this. So we can say delete original image or keep it. So most times it's better to just delete the original image, but you can still keep it anyone you want. So you see it has traced the background. It's now transparent. So when you see images like this, they are transparent backgrounds. So I'll say okay. So you see it now. It's now in vector format. So we can now delete the picture. So I don't want YouTube. What are we using YouTube for? On group. So if after the stuff I've traced it and you don't like how the icons are looking like, you can still design your own. So even the Instagram logo can be designed. So if you look at it, it's just a box that is curved and there's a circle in between. So I'm going to delete this black circle they have at the back. So let's make all this equal. So we'll make it very, very small. So if you like, you can place them into a box again, or you just leave them outside of box. So what was why I group them is because they will be having the same name across all social media accounts. So I'll put it as art. So something like this, but I just tried to put multicolors in the stuff there, but as we can see, it's not working properly. So let's just change it back to blue, or we can even try the yellow they have there, but we can just use blue instead. Wow, I'm not really enjoying the system today. This system will work perfect yesterday, and the next day it's just to behave up. Oh god, I beg. Oh, this okay. Oh, you know, nothing like working with a system that will obey you. This system is stubborn. Fits. last. So we have done the first style of the business card. So we'll just duplicate here. So I'll just make rearrangements but with the same information. You see how this one will come out. So for this one I'll be taking this, I'll ungroup, I think we'll stick with the same colors we are using. I'll just take the name upwards. So like I said, make research. If you make research, you find out how business cards look like. They are basically mostly like this, informations together, and that's all. So for this one I'll be taking just the icon, copy here, so we'll now move these ones from here to here. Don't know why this yellow is not really working for me. So let's group all this. Let me see if I use yellow for the founder seal. So what we'll do next is I'll group these ones, then align it with, because it has to be at the center, Ctrl G, then fix it at the center of this also. So for this one, the Luminaa will just be at the center like this. So I'll make sure it's at the center of the page. Then social media will just come underneath here. That's what I did now. Can't you see the social media is at the back? Is it not the social media here? Social media and the logo. That what I placed at the back. In front. So I'll just put only logo here. I'm trying to manage space as possible, so it's better I place social media here instead of here. And also for this one, self, I'm still thinking of where we can put social media at the front is for this first one. Maybe if I place it here. Then this one will move to this side. So you can, there are still various ways you can still make the same design. So you see that for this first one we have the logo, the social media icon, then the owner of the business card is row at the company, then every other thing is at the back. So when they give you the card, you can see the information at the back. Then this one, we brought this ones to the front and this to the back. We can still change everything completely, whatever way we want. So we can even still use this pattern to do this, but we don't have much time left. So I'm going to just keep these ones here at the center. So let me draw a box at the background. So I want to place this as the background. No, it's black. I'm going to put at the backs. The reason is so that the logo can show properly. The business card can show properly. So the next thing we'll do now is to just design an ID card with this, right? So designing an ID card with this will be very very easy and straightforward. The reason is because you already have a background already. You already have the logos already. You already have the icon, right? So that is why most times it's advisable when clients are designing, they should use like a particular designer that's going to make the full brand identity, because the designer will be able to like connect everything together in that particular design. All right. So let's quickly try to make. I know time has already gone, but we must try and finish this thing. So to next page. So we have to insert another page after this. So what we'll just basically do is just bring this, two of them in here. So ID card, will just rotate them by 90 degrees. So if I should have to rotate everything by 90 degrees here, and it rotates like this, right? So I'll just take this, the brand logo upwards, and rotate it back to 0, right? So this one's too will be at 0. So we can just put the stuff down here. So we are going for like a centralized arrangement. So make this 0 also. So let's say the Oga of the business to has an ID card. So I wouldn't change the name. So is we can put the picture of the bearer of the card, right? So let's get a passport. I think there's a passport I've traced already. So you saw me in free pick. This picture I had, I already brought it from free pick. Let me see if I have. There's this trace picture, because if we start to now start tracing picture now, my sleep here. This picture is not here. That's that. We have to download. Alright. Let's finish the design first before I bring the picture in. So we'll rotate these ones too as we did for this. This will have to go to 0 also. group them. So because I want to make it a centralized arrangement also. I'll reduce the size. So yeah, breathe. If you are done, close and go to your house. Yes, now. It's a ID card. So your own ID card does not have phone number. So if your ID card lost, how would they return it back to you? Why do you? No, there is an official phone number. So there are two ways you run it, right? So we are creating a modern ID card. So it's either you return the ID card to the nearest police station, or you call this phone number to find out how to return the ID card. So any way you want. So like I said, we are just creating a sample design here. We are not creating an original ID card. So for you to design the ID card, the client has to give you information, right? So if your client give you phone number, you put it there. So at the top here, we might write the normal cliche which you could write: if ID card is found, kindly return to blah 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 whatsoever. Right? Now there are also some ID cards that don't use that. In fact, most ID cards don't use that anymore. What most present ID cards use are QR codes, right? So these QR codes are like security. Let's say you have used WhatsApp, right, or even on your Zender. So when you scan that QR code, it gives you information about the owner of the ID card. So you show that it's authorized. So instead of having because most times you now have to meet your boss to sign. So it's signature you now place on the ID card. So most companies, I'm talking about present day company, they have moved past all those. They don't use all those signature anymore. But we'll create that first one where we say kindly return. No, I won't do that. So I'll just get a QR code and place it here. So now don't just I need to make this clear. When you are designing for the client, if the client doesn't provide a QR code, don't just go and place a QR code there. It is the client that is going to give you their QR code for you to place there. Now if they don't have a QR code, it's better you just leave it blank, type something in here, which is, I think, too much talk will make you not understand what I'm saying. Let me do it. So I think you put this card belongs stop hanging for typing now. Let's search for QR code as that one is still loading. We don't have time to be waiting for the stuff. Can you imagine? This even search. This PC I chose for this class has a lot of issues. Practice, practice. Oh God, like I'm going to finish this class tomorrow. Yeah. Then mock up branding, which we will be doing tomorrow. So I'm looking for a QR code. The funny thing is that this internet is fast on phone and every other PC here. Except this PC. Why is this PC behaving like this? So remember to there are apps that generate QR codes for clients. So remember what I said. Just because QR code is like the new thing people use on ID cards doesn't mean when you just design an ID card for somebody, you should go and be putting a QR code. It is a security code. It has to link to the. Like, I've seen people who create like ID card and they go and put that ATM chip. Please, those things are security codes. So if the client does not provide you with any of that, there's no point putting it, right? So you can just leave it blank or type something else here, please. We are repeating this again for those of you who would want to go and do more than yourself. So once this stuff loads up, I'm going to copy the QR code. So all these stuff down here, they are what we call QR code. Right. Finally, you came alive. So I have not finished loading since. So I've copied it. I've gone back to CorelDRAW now. I'm going to paste it there. Ah, it got that big. So let me paste this Ctrl V. I hope that image copies because I know it wasn't going to copy. So what we're going to do is we are supposed to download it. No, there's nothing I want to do about this. I'm going to finish this class tomorrow. Let me just be able to type this stuff completely. So we have to make it centralized also. by tomorrow I'll make the second variation of this card. Then get, in fact, before the class starts, I would have downloaded all the pictures I wanted. I don't have the strength of going back and forth with this internet. So the reason why most times I like to download it here in class, so that you guys would understand how to download pictures. But we have been downloading a lot in class, so by now you should know how I download my pictures, which are from FreePic or Google or whatsoever. So you see that there's a similarity between the business card and the ID card, right? So wherever they see this business card and when they see this ID card, they will know that okay, it's this same brand that owns this stuff. So this is what we mean by owning a brand, whereby the way you can make them look alike either by their brand colors or by their brand patterns. So you see, even the pattern is taking a role inside of the design. The pattern is seen at the background, right? So this is an easy way of designing a business card. So a business card 3.0 by 2.5, and then the ID card. And I show you that there are various ways of going about this, right? So it just depends on your creativity. So you see, when we wanted to design this, we didn't even have to make like research to find what other people have done. But it is advisable, if you don't know what to do, you can make a research, see what other persons have done. Then from there you gain inspiration to like come up with your own design, right? But if you are very, very creative, you can just try out stuff. But make sure that whatever you are designing is relating to the brand, right? So today we were able to continue on this our design, and I think we have made good progress. So by tomorrow we'll try to round up everything. See, I said to God, I will not come to your WhatsApp. I like when you guys come to class very late. Once it's 11, you guys should wait for us to call the group and beg you to join the class. But your time won't be enough. So by 11, make sure you are always inside of this class, so that we can touch every single thing we want. So you see, just to make 2 business cards, see how many time we have to spend to work on this, right? Instead of now even shifting into the ID card and then trying to make your letter heading for you. So my time is already up after 1. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Shalom or salam alaikum, anyone you want.